Good morning, my dear students. Today we are going to discuss about our chemistry. So, we are starting with a new chapter. The chapter's name is Air and Atmosphere. Air and Atmosphere. So, the previous chapter we have discussed about water, the importance of water, the uses of water, how to control water pollution, and what is water pollution. So in this chapter, we are going to deal or we are going to know more about our atmosphere and what are the components of atmosphere. So, first of all, I would like to ask you a question. Are you able to see air? Is air visible? All of you know, air is not visible, but we are able to feel the presence of air. When wind blows, when the air is moving, it's called wind. And when the wind blows, normally whatever things are, we can feel the wind. The wind will come and strike on our clothes and our hairs. And when the wind strikes on leaves, etc., then the leaves and all will start moving. And due to the wind in the sky, the clouds are moving. And due to wind, only the rain is flowing, and due to the wind, only the rain is going away too. So the clouds movement is also depending upon wind. So what is wind? Wind is the movement of air. Wind is the movement of air. Then again, where the air is present? One question is that where will be the air will be present? Suppose if I take one glass, if I fill it with water, you will say that the glass is not empty, the glass is filled with water. Suppose I am going to pour out the entire water out, then you will call that one as what? An empty glass. You will call that one as an empty glass. When we have not kept anything on a box, normally we will say that the box is empty. The box is empty. Or the shelves we are having in our home, if the shelves nothing is kept, then normally what we used to say? We used to say that the shelf is empty. Really, these things, and we will call empty glass or empty bottle or empty shelf, is empty. So we are going to conduct an activity. On your textbook, page number 68, there is one activity is given. So activity 1, that we have to show that air is present around us. Around us, air is present, even though we are not able to see them, air is present. So what you have to do, you have to take an empty bottle, okay, and a bucket of water, bucket of beaker, inside you can fill it with water, take an empty bottle. The next step is that you just upside down the bottle such that the neck of the bottle should be down, cap should be removed, the neck of the bottle should be down and the bottom should be on the top, just upside down. Then what we will do, we are going to dip the bottle completely inside the water in the same position. What you will observe? Will the water enter into the empty bottle? We will observe that the water is not going to get inside the empty bottle. Why? If it was empty, the water should enter into the empty bottle, right? It's not empty, it's filled with the air. So, empty bottle, empty boxes or the empty shelf, everything is filled with the air. They are not empty, it is filled with the air. Air is also a matter. Gases is also called one of the states of matter. So we cannot say that it's an empty space. It is filled with the air. Empty space we call it after the atmosphere. When we are traveling towards the space, after the atmosphere, then there is emptiness is there, nothing is there, no air, no water, or no solids. Now, the same activity, if you just turn the neck on the sidewise, just upside down, and you can see that some bubbles are coming out. As the bubbles are coming out, what will happen? The water is going to enter into the bottle. So at that time there is a space. Why? The air is leaving towards the atmosphere. So there is an empty space will be there. To the empty space, what will happen? The water is going to occupy. So it is clear that empty bottle is not really empty. Air is filled inside that one, and when the air is moves out, then the water will be getting inside. Now, first point we are going to discuss is that air, a mixture of gases. Air, a mixture of gases. So how can we define air? Air is a colorless, odorless, tasteless mixture of gases. Air is a colorless, odorless, tasteless mixture of gases. Odor means smell. So the air is not having any color, the air is not having any smell, and air is not having any taste. Already we have discussed about what are mixtures. So we know that these different types of gases are going to combine together such that they are not going to chemically active. They will have their own set of properties. Now air is not having any set of properties by its own, but the air is showing the properties of the mixtures or the substances which is mixed, or the gases which is mixed. So what is air? Air is a colorless, odorless and tasteless mixture of gases. Understood what is air now? Air is a colorless, odorless, tasteless mixture of gases. Now, in ancient philosophers, in 1674, John Mayer, he found that, or he said that there are two components. Mainly, there are two components in the air which is in the atmosphere. You know what is atmosphere? A portion of gases, mixture of gases, which is just covering the surface of Earth, maybe some kilometers. It's called atmosphere. So this atmosphere mainly consists of two components of gases. But he was not able to define which are they. Okay, then only he came to know that there are two components in the atmosphere, and in these two components, one is an active component and another one is an inactive component. One is an active component and another one is an inactive component. Later, in 1789, Anthony Lavoisier, a French chemist, found that the two components, already the previous man was found that there was two components. One is active and another one is inactive. Then again, Anthony Lavoisier, he found that in 1789, he found that the ratio of the components of air, he also was not knowing which are the components, but he said that the ratio of the components of air is 1:4. That means one component is one portion. If that one component is one portion, then 4 times more the other component is there. Later, this component was known as oxygen and nitrogen. So the ratio between oxygen and nitrogen is 1:4, around 1:4. He also showed that oxygen is needed for respiration and burning of substance. So the same person, Anthony Lavoisier, he found that oxygen, or this one component, is needed for respiration and the combustion. Combustion means what? The burning. Respiration means breathing. Understood now? So this one he found. So we can say that air is a mixture of gases. Air is a mixture of gases. As I said, it is where mainly there are two main components. First component is nitrogen and second component is oxygen. Nitrogen and oxygen. So if we take the total amount of gases, 78% of the gas is filled with the nitrogen, which is inactive. Which is inactive. It is not active one, it is an inactive one. and 21% consist of oxygen, and they are active component. So two main components in the air are nitrogen and oxygen, and nitrogen is an inactive component and oxygen is active component. Now the 1% will be the other things. Which are the other things? Carbon dioxide, water vapor and inert gases. Carbon dioxide, water vapor and inert gases. These are the components of air. Okay, so air is a mixture of all these things. Which are the nitrogen, oxygen, then water vapor, carbon dioxide and inert gases. So air is a mixture of these components. Now, importance and uses of components of air. Before that, we have to say that the composition of air or this arrangement of air is not same everywhere. These components can be changed. For example, when we are going for high altitude, for example, the Everest climbers or the mountain climbers and all, when they are traveling towards high altitude, what will happen? The amount of oxygen will be reduced. The amount of oxygen will be reduced. Okay, and when we are comparing with the high altitude and the ground level or the lower altitude, the amount of oxygen will be more compared with the high altitude. Not only that, when the season changes, as I said that the water vapor is also one of the components of the air. Summer season, the water vapor will be very less compared with the rainy season or the winter season. In winter season or the rainy season, the water components will be more in the air. So these components can have some variation. Okay. Then next one, importance and uses of the components of air. First one, the first component we are going to discuss today. The first component of air is nitrogen. So we are going to discuss something about what are the importance of nitrogen in the atmosphere. As I said that it is an inactive, we are not able to breathe also. The living organisms are depending upon oxygen. Then why this much of nitrogen is there? Is there any uses or it is a waste one? So that's what we are going to discuss. So there are mainly 5 uses in the nitrogen for the importance of nitrogen. First one, help in protein synthesis. Nitrogen helps in protein synthesis. And we know that from the sunlight, using the sunlight, your bioprocess photosynthesis, plants are the producers of food chain in the earth. Now, if the plants wants to grow, it should get more protein, the formation of proteins, which are essential for growth and development of plants. So, nitrogen is going to help in protein synthesis in the plants, so that they will get sufficient growth, and of course, they can develop their parts and we will get maximum output from a plant. Then this inactive nitrogen will be active, become nitrates in the soil, and from the soil plants are going to absorb this nitrates and they will start protein synthesis. Okay, so first importance of nitrogen is helps in protein synthesis in the plants. Then next one, what is the next point? Controls combustion of substances. What is combustion? Burning. What is combustion? Burning. We know that oxygen is required for combustion. If you want to burn something, there should be oxygen should be present. But this much amount of 78% of huge amount of nitrogen controls the burning. Even though it is not helping in the burning, it is controlling the combustion, or it is going to control the burning process. See, if nitrogen was not there, was not present in the air, if we burn something, what will happen? We are not able to control that. Continuously it is going to burn like anything. We are not able to control the burning process. So nitrogen, the second use of nitrogen, importance of nitrogen is controls the combustion of substances. So if we want to burn something, we need oxygen, but this burning is controlled by what? nitrogen. So if the nitrogen is not there, we could not get or we could not control the burning process. Just like bomb blasting, if we burn a matchstick, then it is going to burn like anything without any control. Then the next one is in the manufacture of ammonia. The fourth one is in the manufacture of ammonia. Ammonia is a chemical. Okay, so almost all the industries we need ammonia. So nitrogen is used for the manufacture of ammonia by Haber process. Okay, by Haber process, the nitrogen can be used for the manufacture of ammonia. Ammonia is an important chemical in the industrial area. The higher classes you will study about Haber processes. Now again, next one, fertilizers. The manufacture of fertilizers. What are fertilizers? Already we know that fertilizers are used for the good growth of plants. Nowadays we know that in order to get the more product, we are depending upon the chemical fertilizers. So the fertilizers are made from nitrate or the nitrogen. Already we have seen in the first class, photosynthesis in the plants is controlled by nitrogen. So in the fertilizers, the nitrogen is there, then only we are able to, or the plant is going to get more energy by the photosynthesis. What are the main manufacturers for the fertilizers? The ammonium sulfate, ammonium phosphate, potassium nitrate and urea. These things are the examples of the fertilizers what we are using normally in the crops. Okay. Now the last one is nitrogen is also used in the food industry. In the food industry. Now you will think that where this nitrogen is used in the food industry. And we know that already, as I have said, that nitrogen is an inactive component in the air or in the atmosphere. So, since the nitrogen is inactive, nitrogen is used to remove the oxygen presence from the food materials. When we are taking the food materials and we are packaged food, we know that it will remain for a long time. So, when this packaged food is remaining for a long time, what's happening? Before filling the food materials into the boxes or into the container, they will treat the container with nitrogen so that oxygen will be removed. Oxygen will help the growth of bacteria in the container so that the food will be spoiled. We cannot preserve the food for a long time. So, just before filling the food in the container, what we will do? We are going to treat the container with nitrogen so that oxygen will be removed. Since nitrogen is inactive, the food materials will be preserved for a long time. Okay, and this liquid nitrogen is used for the food preservation. Preservation means we are storing the food for so many days. So this is called the food preservation. So liquid nitrogen is used for the food preservation, and normal nitrogen is treated with the container in order to remove the oxygen so that the food will be safe for long time. So this is about our today's topic. Okay, so we have just started with air and atmosphere, and we have seen what is air. Air is a colorless, odorless, tasteless mixture of gases. Some components are there: nitrogen, oxygen, then carbon dioxide, water vapor, and dead gases. Main components are nitrogen and oxygen, where nitrogen is called inactive component and oxygen is called the active component of air. Then we have seen the importance and uses of components of air. That is, first one is we have discussed about nitrogen. What are the uses? Helps in protein synthesis in plants. Then controls combustion or burning of substances, and in the manufacture of ammonia, and in the manufacture of fertilizers, and finally it is used in the food industry for preservation of foods. So this is about our today's topic. So you have one homework. What you have to do? You have to take a white paper. On the white paper, you have to draw the figure 6.2, which is given on page number 69, and Just below that one, there is a table, 6.1 is given. That what should be you have to do in one page. Just behind that page, you have to write the importance and uses of components of air, first one nitrogen. These 5 points, which is given page number 69 on your textbook, you have to just write and keep that paper in your textbook. Thank you.